If becoming healthier is one of your New Year's resolutions, you might be among the 45 million Americans expected to get a routine physical this year. But in an article in the New York Times, the doctor who helped create President Obama's health care law is challenging that wisdom. Dr. Ezekiel Emanuel writes, quote, "Not having my annual physical is one small way I can help reduce health care costs and save myself time, worry, and a worthless exam." Dr. Narula is here with more on this. Doctor, a worthless exam?
Worthless is a very strong word.
Yes.
And it provokes a very emotional reaction from not just patients, but from doctors. But the reality is we like to practice evidence-based medicine, and the evidence today does not support the idea of the annual physical exam. The best research we have came from a review that was published in 2012 that looked at 14 trials, over 180,000 patients, and they found that the annual physical does not reduce costs, does not reduce mortality or hospitalizations. So our major medical organizations, the American Medical Association, the American College of Physicians, do not currently endorse the annual physical exam.
Maybe that's because the annual physical, the way it's done itself, is worthless.
I think that's really the big thing, is really reimagining the way we perform the annual physical.
But tell me more.
Well, look, I just think this is an interesting debate and a scary one. Here you have the president and his advisors push Obamacare and make preventative care easier, and then one of the top architects saying, no, you don't need the preventative care, where every bit of medicine tells you that preventative care, we should be doing more of it in this country. And their whole point behind, one of the whole major points behind Obamacare is to make this preventative care less costly to the individual.
Right, and I don't think anybody's saying to take away preventative care. I mean, that's clearly one of the benefits. And I think it's just a question of reimagining how we perform the annual physical. Does it need to be annual? Could it be biannual?
But to me, every visit you go to the doctor on an annual basis, you get your flu shot, you get your cholesterol checked, they ask you about other problems you're having, mental and physical. It's the first
EKG or whatever.
EKG or whatever it is.
Right.
So the harms, and that's what this study points to, is overdiagnosis and overtreatment. So when you go and you have a full battery of tests, then you find something. And the question is, that leads to more tests, which could potentially be harmful to the patient and costly and anxiety provoking.
So where is the balance between minimum and overbalancing?
Right. And that's
over exam. And how do we know that?
That's the big question. We know that there's certain preventative screening tests that work. Mammograms, colonoscopies, blood pressure, cholesterol checks, pap smears. These are the things we do need to be getting. Vaccinations. So the question is, how do we picture or create something that works for people in terms of prevention and screening, but that's more customized and tailored to the individual as opposed to the same test for everybody?
Why don't you?
Well, that's where we're going. That's where we're headed. And I think the future of medicine is going to be exactly that. It's going to be me sitting down with you and saying, Charlie, what are your particular risk factors? What screening tests are appropriate for you at your age? And, basically counseling you on the lifestyle things that work for you.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I'll tell you how I feel about this. I mean, I do. Every time you go to the doctor, they say on your annual, they say, did you get a mammogram? No, I haven't. You need to go do that. I mean, they tell you to try and take care of your health.
The problem is it takes away from the doctor-patient relationship, and that's one of the big reasons.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Narula.